Due to the lack of evidence in the Old Testament for the Son, also known as Jesus, to be the pre-incarnate Son, being worshipped, being honored, being prayed to, being praised, being around the throne with the Father and the angels, or being involved in creation, Trinitarians are forced to continue their theological scavenger hunt to make the case that the angel of the Lord is the pre-incarnate Son. Trinitarians are astonished that they cannot find the Son back in the Old Testament clearly, so they try to hang on to the riddle that Jesus must be the angel of the Lord. Yet, no biblical scripture explicitly supports this idea, and no author in all of Scripture ever tries to make the case that the angel of the Lord is the pre-incarnate Son. To the contrary, the evidence is very clear that if an individual is going to make the case that the angel of the Lord is a single angel, then the most likely candidate to fit this role would be Michael. Here are 7 points that drive this point home. Point 1. Michael in Daniel 12. Title as Great Prince. In Daniel 12 verse 1, Michael is described as the great prince who stands guard over the sons of your people, specifically referring to Israel. This indicates Michael's unique role as the protector and advocate for Israel. Role of advocacy and protection. Michael's role here is consistent with other references in Scripture where he contends for God's people. His designation as a prince ties him to divine authority, indicating his elevated status among the angels. Point 2. Michael in Daniel 10. Gabriel's statement. In Daniel 10 verse 13, Gabriel mentions, "Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me because I was detained there with the prince of the Persian kingdom." This implies that Michael holds a unique status among angels, specifically as a defender and warrior for God's purposes. Singular partnership. Gabriel's acknowledgement that no one else contends with him except Michael suggests Michael's supremacy and unique authority within the heavenly hierarchy. Point 3. Michael in Revelation, leader of angels. In Revelation 12 verse 7, Michael is depicted as leading a heavenly army in a war against Satan and his angels. This role aligns with Michael's character as a divine warrior and a protector of God's people. Association with angels. Michael is consistently shown as the leader of other angels, implying a role similar to what one might associate with the phrase angel of the Lord, as a divine messenger and executor of God's will. Point 4. Jewish traditions and ancient texts. The Jewish tradition provides significant insight into Michael's role and identity. Jewish Encyclopedia. The Jewish Encyclopedia extensively discusses Michael as a chief angelic figure in Jewish thought. He is described as the protector of Israel and the heavenly intercessor. Worship of Michael. Some traditions indicate that Michael was so highly revered that some Israelites set up places of worship for him, believing he was a direct intermediary between God and humanity. Book of Enoch. In the Book of Enoch, First Book of Enoch, 20 verse 5, Michael is listed as one of the holy angels who presides over human virtue and guides nations. His role is consistent with that of the angel of the Lord, who acts on God's behalf. Book of Jubilees. The Book of Jubilees identifies Michael as the angelic figure who mediates between God and Israel, further solidifying his position as the heavenly protector of the nation. Targum and Midrash. In the Targums and Midrashic literature, Michael is often referred to as the high priest in the heavenly temple, underscoring his intercessory role. This parallels the work of the angel of the Lord, who mediates between God and humanity. Point 5. Angel of the Lord. The term angel of the Lord in the Hebrew Bible is used for a divine messenger who often speaks as God himself and executes God's will. The identification of this figure with Michael is supported by the following. Unique role. Michael's role as protector of Israel aligns with the missions of the angel of the Lord, who is also depicted as a protector and guide for God's people. For example, in Exodus 23 verses 20 through 21. Heavenly authority. The angel of the Lord is often described in terms that blur the distinction between the angel and God, indicating a high-ranking, singular figure. Michael's unique designation in Daniel, Revelation, and other texts aligns with this description. Point 6. Counter-argument to the pre-incarnate Son hypothesis. Lack of evidence in the Gospels. the New Testament does not explicitly identify the angel of the Lord as the pre-incarnate Christ. Instead, the focus is on Christ's work and divine mission. Michael as singular angel. Michael is the only angel explicitly described as a protector and advocate for Israel, suggesting his role uniquely aligns with the angel of the Lord. Point 7. Early Christian and Jewish views. Early Jewish beliefs. Early Jewish texts and traditions predominantly identify Michael as the angel of the Lord, with no association with a pre-incarnate Son of God. Veneration of Michael. The high reverence for Michael in Jewish tradition underscores his central role in divine plans, consistent with the attributes of the angel of the Lord. In conclusion, the identification of Michael as the angel of the Lord is a compelling interpretation based on his role as Israel's protector, his unique status among the angels, and the testimony of Jewish and early Christian traditions. While debates about the pre-incarnate Son's identification with the angel of the Lord exist, there is a strong case from scriptural and extra-biblical texts that Michael fits the description of this singular divine agent, especially given his role as Israel's guardian and heavenly leader.